All those who love the cosmos, the infinite mysteries of the universe, and the science surrounding them are experiencing an exciting time. Never before have we had so much evidence that many of our old theories are wrong. The Webb telescope is clearly showing us things that shouldn't exist according to these theories. We are at the beginning of a new worldview, and it's possible that our vision of science and matter will change completely once again. Quote from Neil deGrasse Tyson: "We have galaxies in the dark age that shouldn't be there." So, what's wrong? Are the data wrong, or are our theories wrong? A serious problem has emerged. The James Webb Space Telescope is showing us that there are objects in the observable universe older than the universe itself. And this cannot be. In the telescope images, we see rows and rows of galaxies that, according to the old standard models of physics and cosmology, must have formed long before the Big Bang. One thing is now certain. We have a flaw in the system, and perhaps everything we thought about the universe and everything we had calculated is wrong. The oldest galaxy. The officially oldest galaxy discovered by the James Webb Space Telescope is called JADES GSZ 13-0. This galaxy existed about 330 million years after the Big Bang and is one of the earliest and most distant known galaxies. The galaxy was discovered as part of the JWST Advanced Deep Extragalactic Survey, or JADES for short. With this program, researchers are trying to explore the universe as it was in the first 100 million years after the hypothesized Big Bang. In reality, it's a miracle or a fortunate coincidence that we are able to observe the universe as it was before this long period. Light takes time to travel through space, and today, thanks to advanced technologies like the James Webb Telescope, we can see light traveling through the universe from millions or billions of years ago. With our telescopes, we always see an imprint of the past. Even the light from our closest stellar neighbors takes years or decades to reach us. So, it's a stroke of luck that we can see galaxies like JADES GSZ 13-0 and understand the origins of the universe and explore these distant times. A philosophical vision. But perhaps the universe is built this way precisely because we are meant to explore it, and perhaps it is the universe itself that has created itself this way. If so, then the universe is playing a cruel joke on our researchers, or it is saying, "Hey, you haven't looked closely enough." Maybe some intelligence in space is mocking all the Earthlings who, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, are intensely thinking about the cosmos, its beginning, and the development of matter these days. Galaxies in the dark age are impossible. Reflections on cosmological models. Let's take a moment to consider how scientists have imagined the universe up until today. It is supposed that there was a single starting point where indefinite potential formed all at once. It was the Big Bang. Since then, the universe has expanded into something that is said to have been simply an indeterminate nothingness before the birth of the universe. The universe is space, and space grows with the expansion of the universe. After the Big Bang, there was only an extremely hot primordial substance, a swirl of gas, heat, and loose particles whizzing around. Although the universe had already cooled considerably in the first seconds, it took several 100,000 years for the first solid pieces of matter to form. Until a moment researchers call reionization, the universe was a dark and impenetrable place. A change in the molecular structure finally made the universe permeable to light. This moment coincides with the birth of the first stars and galaxies because it was the first stars that ionized the surrounding hydrogen gas and thus illuminated the universe. Previous calculations have shown that at this point the universe must have been almost 1 billion years old. However, the galaxy JADES GSZ 13-0 existed about 330 million years after the Big Bang, and it is not the only one. The discovery of ancient galaxies. It's incredible how many ancient galaxies have been found in the first deep images of Webb. Dozens, and some researchers speak of hundreds or thousands of galaxies similar to JADES GSZ 13-0 that existed so close to the Big Bang that they shouldn't actually exist. Galaxies of this size and brightness require billions of years to develop. As Neil deGrasse Tyson said, after the first measurement results, some researchers thought the new telescope was defective, but then the truth came out. More and more research groups were able to confirm the results, and a check showed that Webb was working perfectly. The telescope did not show researchers what they expected to see. The universe was illuminated at a time that was supposed to be dark and perhaps inhabited by as many galaxies as today. A crisis in cosmology. After these shocking truths, a great crisis occurred in cosmology. Researchers who have long doubted the Big Bang welcome the new facts, while others are on the verge of despair. Even more impossible is JADES GSZ 14.0, and there's worse. Webb doesn't stop finding absurd things in the universe. The galaxy JADES GSZ 14.0 existed 290 million years after the Big Bang. And although the existence of these galaxies has not yet been officially confirmed, we can be sure that it is not the oldest galaxy in the universe. Some research groups have reported the discovery of galaxies with Z values of 20 and perhaps even a little more. JADES GSZ 14.0 has brought to light other incredible things. The galaxy has a span of over 1,600 light-years, and its brightness is not due to a supermassive black hole but to young stars. Future implications. This observation is interesting because apparently, the galaxy contains many young stars. However, there are too many and they are organized too complexly for us to see real newborn galaxies that match the old cosmological view of the world. The first galaxies should be wild clusters of stars, not perfectly structured galaxies. Researchers face an unsolvable puzzle, especially regarding the shape. Complex shapes such as spirals, disks, spheres, and other shapes would have been created by countless mergers of smaller star clusters. As soon as researchers realized this shock, here comes the next impossible galaxy candidate, JADES GSZ 14.1. It is as young or old as its sister galaxy and shows that there are still older galaxies out there. The future of research. This raises the question of what researchers will do with all these results. At the moment, they are still studying the results. The age of the galaxies must be independently confirmed by several research groups before the discovery can be considered official and real. Some scientists have already developed new explanatory models and presented revisions of old theories. Canadian researcher Rajendra Gupta has plausibly shown that the universe could also be 26.7 billion years old if some values are adjusted and the dynamics of Newtonian physics are taken into account. Others, like researcher John Mather, who is also the project leader of the entire James Webb mission, believe that the explanation lies in an earlier formation of stars. Mather is of the opinion that we need to correct our picture of when the first stars and galaxies formed. But is it really possible that the universe practically shot stars into space in a mass birth and then organized them perfectly? We know so-called starburst galaxies, which produce a very high number of stars in an extremely short time, but these galaxies are physical exceptions and could not have been the mathematical standard of the primordial universe. New hypotheses. The idea remains that the universe is infinite and there was never a beginning. But how did researchers find the Big Bang? Basically, we have two researchers to thank for our old standard image of the cosmos: the American Edwin Hubble and the Belgian Georges Lemaitre. Hubble conducted research on the first newly discovered galaxies in the 1920s. It was an exciting time, like the one we are experiencing today. Before then, humanity thought that the Milky Way was the universe. It must have been shocking to suddenly see beyond the boundaries of the Milky Way with increasingly sophisticated telescopes and discover more and more galaxies. The worldview changed abruptly back then. Hubble studied the newly discovered galaxies and was amazed to find that the farthest galaxies from us were moving away at a very specific speed. Thus, Hubble first discovered the expansion of the universe. Belgian priest and researcher Lemaitre had already found evidence that the universe was created by an event and is not infinite. Putting one and one together, he came up with the idea that the universe had moved away from the Big Bang and is therefore becoming larger and larger. The date when the Big Bang occurred has been calculated several times, and the figure has been corrected several times as well. However, it has always been around 13.8 billion years. Perhaps we made a mistake. Rajendra Gupta's calculation shows that other approaches are also possible, and science must now grapple with these new ideas. 100 years ago, we experienced a revolution similar to the one today, and probably this upheaval will not be the last that science will experience. Who knows how people will see or experience the universe in another 100 or 1,000 years? Will we ever know the whole truth? Some researchers are certain that the universe is completely understandable and describable from a physical and mathematical point of view. Others, however, believe that the universe may be so changeable and fantastic that we could never force it into specific frames or formulas using our scientific methods. Webb's observations indicate that other forms of energy or matter exist in the universe that were previously unknown. It's also possible that quantities and physical phenomena change over time. If this is the case, our chances of understanding the universe through measures and numbers are slim. However, what remains for us to do is explore space as we see it today and do so as impartially as possible. Our science has reached a dead end, and now a completely new era is being born, which we will continue to follow with enthusiasm. Subscribe to the channel now and join every new video.